Hello. Hi. Welcome to Totally Book Dork
Vlogs.
Book vlogs.
Totally.
Book dork.
Totally book dorks. Vlogs.
TBD. The book we
Okay.
are doing today. Put the thing down. The
Yep.
book we are gonna talk about today is
Hashtag never again.
which is a book.
It's a true story.
Yes, it's about the Parkland High School shooting that happened.
February
February.
14th.
Yes,
Lovers
Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. That was a weird name. Okay, Valentine's Day, and it happened, last year, 2018. So this book but like a couple months ago came out at Barnes & Noble, so I just had to get a copy. So this is my copy. It's so good.
It's beautiful.
So we're gonna just read you the summary of the book to start out with. So Aylin, would you like to read it, or can you not read my handwriting?
Yes, I'd be happy to read it. I can't read her handwriting.
I wrote it on the board, which probably was a waste of time. Okay,
It's really
Aylin,
bad.
go.
Before February 14th, we thought we had plenty of time. We wanted to do something that would make the world a better place, to fight for justice as lawyers or activists or crusading journalists, to be responsible citizens and raise good-hearted children. But first we had to finish high school. After February 14th, we knew how fast time could stop.
I just love that summary because it's just saying that these are these dreams that these kids had, and they thought, oh no, we have time, we have to finish high school, go to college, all those things. That's when we will finally be able to be activists, journalists, what else did it say? Lawyers, that kind of thing, just fighting.
But then for those kids that died, basically their dreams just kind of disappeared.
Yep. And those kids realized that the ones that did live, that
Their life would be changed forever.
And they didn't have to finish high school first. They could be activists while in high school, and they decided that school needed to be put on hold for a little bit while they figure everything out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the Never Again book is by two survivors of the shooting, David and Lauren Hogg. Their dad works for the FBI, so shortly, hours after the Parkland shooting, people were calling them crisis actors, taking hits at their dad because he works for the FBI. Hours after the shooting, people were saying the whole school were crisis actors, which is just really sad. But they decided that they needed to do something. Lauren actually lost 3 of her best friends in the shooting, and David didn't really lose anybody. But he went through a lot because he had to watch his sister go through losing 3 of her best friends, which his way to do that was through being an activist. So Cameron, David Cameron, Emma Gonzalez, is that how you say her name?
Mm-hmm.
I know those are the 3 major people you hear a lot about. So they started this movement called Never Again, trying to support, raise awareness of gun control and just school safety kind of thing. And so they started the movement. 17 people died at the Parkland High School shooting, which is just horrible. And they started this movement to kind of raise awareness. And what, Aylin, would you give me the button? No, because you keep clicking it. If I'm in the middle of a sentence, you don't need to stop it. We made a mistake. The book is called
The movement is called.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
The book is called #Never Again. The movement is called March for Our Lives, or that's what the march that they do is called. Yes. Okay, that was our mistake. Aylin, stop.
Yeah.
I told you. A quote that we found in the book. Mine was, I like this one very much. It's, "We have to learn to love ourselves for what we are instead of hating ourselves for what we are not. And then we have to love other people the same way. Because if you wait for another day, that day might never come." So Aylin's quote's taken from the book. When the shooter was in the school, David was under the desks in his classroom with his video camera rolling, and he was interviewing this girl, and then you can read what it said.
But the one thing she said in the interview absolutely burned itself into my mind. So this is something that...
The girl said.
Yeah. "I even texted my sisters, shooting at my school, I'm safe. They both responded with, OMG, LOL, you're funny."
So that's kind of the things that school shootings for our generation are just normal. That's all we've known since kindergarten, is that there's school shootings. This is what we deal with. This is what we've been practicing. Like I think we have to do drills every trimester. Is that right?
I think so.
I think it's every trimester or twice a year in this school year. And we have to practice, the fire, tornado, we do shelter in place, all those kinds of things. But we do lockdown drills, which we've been doing since kindergarten, where they take the kindergartners, you move away from windows and doors. So, Anyway, you move away from windows and doors. So basically, if there's a shooter in your school and they look through the door, look through the window, they can't see anybody. And just you be absolutely silent, and that's just something we've been practicing since.
And I remember just like, because they're drills, and you don't think they're actually going to happen, so nobody stays quiet.
No,
people
there's
are just
always
kind of like moving around,
and then
someone coughs or sneezes, and they're like,
everyone starts laughing
and stuff like that.
We're
so
kindergartners, we're first graders. It works all the way up.
I mean, that even happened last year. I mean, there
yeah,
were people laughing
boys are kind of
year.
immature, but the thing is, we've been practicing these forever, and then they always ask the questions. Kids are like, well, what if this? What if that? What if the shooter's in here? Like, what if we have to hide? What if the shooter's coming into our room? Like, then our teachers would go through. You would go in this closet. You would go under the sink. You would go hide, just like trying to hide all the children, so just the teacher is left in the room. If not, the teacher can hide too. But the thing is, like, we know if we're in a lockdown in the bathroom, like if there's lockdown drill and we're sent to we're in the bathroom, we know that we're supposed to lock all the doors. We stand in the middle stall. You get your feet up on the toilet, so that if a shooter comes in and looks under your seat, they don't see you. So like, this is just something this is reality.
Just kind of common knowledge.
We talk about our
schools.
Yeah, I told this to my parents, and they're like, seriously? Like, they have to go through every single room in that school. If we're there, where do we go? Like, it's just something we've been practicing, and yeah. So again, we've been practicing this just forever, and you never think it's gonna happen to your school. You hear about Florida, what happened in Parkland, like, well, that's Florida, that's not where we live, that's not Minnesota.
I mean,
of course it's happened in Minnesota, but like, it's just not something you really think like, this is never gonna happen to our school. What are the odds this happens to our school?
I mean, for the past like 20 years, it's been like Columbine did I say Columbine?
You said Columbine. Columbine High School, like Colorado,
Florida,
Arkansas, California,
Ohio,
Virginia,
Pennsylvania.
all
Like, you
those
never,
things.
because we live in Minnesota, and you never think like, oh, that's gonna happen to someone like us. It's just something we've heard on the news.
You never think it's never gonna happen to my school until it does. And so on last Thursday,
which was
that was
September 13th, we hadn't had any drills yet.
Nope.
Our drills are actually this upcoming Monday, so
we knew they were coming. The teachers had been saying, drills are coming. I am sitting in math class. We had a little bit of free time. I'm sitting in math class.
I was in science.
Reading this book, okay? And I'm reading this book. I just had gotten to the part where David and Lauren were talking about how they had just texted their parents that they love them, and maybe for the last time. So I'm just at that really emotional part in the book. And then all of a sudden, the announcements come on, going like, attention,
all staff and students, please initiate lockdown procedures
immediately. And
we're like,
okay, it's a drill. Like, we do this all the time. But in my head, my thoughts were already going like, in my brain, I'm like, I know it's a drill, but this book that I was just reading, it's just,
it was so scary. So
just wait, let's just keep talking.
Sorry.
So then, I'm in math, she's in science. We both automatically, our teachers were shutting down our computers. Everyone's supposed to leave everything, but we're all grabbing our phones, putting them in our pockets. We're running to where we're supposed to be, away from the windows, away from the doors. We're sitting there, it's silent. Then, after like 5 minutes, a bell goes off. We're like, that's super weird. They do lockdown drills in the beginning or end of the day, because in the middle is when lunch is. And all of a sudden this bell goes off, and I know, at least I was thinking, wait a second, they would never have a drill in the middle of lunch, because kids are in there, and we don't, like, that just wouldn't happen. And for you guys, we're in 9th grade, so this is a new school that we are in, like, this is our second week of high school, but anyway, so the bell goes off, and we're like, okay, that was the first kind of red flag. They would never do that. Maybe they do. Maybe this is what they do in high school. Like, I don't know. And then our teachers are supposed to get emails saying this is a drill. So my math teacher, probably your science teacher, get on their computer, and my math teacher's viciously scrolling. He doesn't see anything. That's when so our teacher's a traveling math teacher, which means he doesn't have a classroom of his own. He teaches classes in teachers prep hours. So this isn't his classroom, and we look at the door and there's no shades on it. There's supposed to be shades on the window, on the door, so if someone looks in, they can't see. That's a big long window on the side of the door. So we're ripping down the flag that's on our wall and taping it over the window. We're taking boxes, we're stacking them. All these things. Our teacher was getting super freaked out. And of course, that's when another thought, I'm like, okay, he's not getting any emails saying this is a drill. So for right now, we all need to assume it's not a drill. And that was one of the most terrifying things.
That was. I was going to say, just because I was in science class and we were talking about just kind of like speed and stuff and velocity. And so we had to go around the school and see how far we could get in 3 minutes. And so we walked around the school and we came back and we just set our stuff down on the table when the announcement came on. And I don't know what's wrong with their announcement system, but it almost had this weird eerie echo to it. Did you hear that? Okay. Yeah, it was like this weird eerie echo. And I have never seen my science teacher so nervous. And we just all kind of piled into the back corner of the classroom. And we were there. There was no
crazy
sound.
And then I remember getting a text from my mom saying, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure we're in like a real lockdown right now, and I'm not like, this isn't a joke or anything, like this just happened to our school. And we're like, okay. I'm texting my mom, we're in lockdown. I'm like, everything's, as of right now, everything's okay, I'm fine. And then I realized I haven't texted my friends yet. My friends who are in lunch, who are in different classes. I didn't have any friends in my class. I think you had one of our friends. So then we all get on, I think we all kind of like realized it at the same time. We're like, wait a second, like, what about our friends? So we had this big long group chat. We're all texting each other saying, guys, what the heck is going on? My math teacher was like, he wasn't getting any emails. So he goes, everyone on your phones now. You start texting everyone you know inside this school and you figure out what's happening. And that's something that's different than like what we could have done like 20 years ago. Like, they couldn't have popped out their phones like, okay, let me check. And all of our friends, one of our friends has an older sister in the school. She texted her older sister saying, how long are these drills gonna last? And her sister had to respond, well, this isn't a drill, this is actually happening. So all those red flags, no teachers were coming around. Teachers for drills are supposed to check the handles, make sure it's locked. No one was coming around. So yeah, all the rumors were flowing in, all the pictures of the school. Kids were going up to windows and taking pictures of the police cars, of the SWAT team very fastly pulling up to our school. They were making a perimeter going around the school. We saw the media, I don't remember what news station pulled up in their van, had their video camera. There were rumors like that our community college had gotten shot, that someone had gotten stabbed, that there was a gun in a backpack. There was, that one came up a lot. There was a knife, someone had stabbed someone in the parking lot, or the rumor was someone had a knife in their car, someone had stabbed someone had died, there was a shooter inside the school, and all these thoughts just don't help at all, and actually all of them were fake too. So the next day, all the sports, all those kinds of things, my mom texted me, she's on her way, everybody's like shaking, everyone had to go to the bathroom really bad.
I did. I really had to. I had to pee 20 minutes in.
And then we're like, Aylin.
I texted the group chat, I was like, guys, they're like, I love you guys. I hope you guys are safe. And I'm just over here like, I have to pee really badly.
We're like, that's too bad. Anyway, but yeah, so then the press release came out from the police station saying that a male had phoned into our local police station saying that this male was going to commit acts of violence against our high school. So that's, just not, it's good because nobody was in the school, and we knew that because they let us out of lockdown. We didn't know, it was comforting knowing what was actually happening, but at the same time, there was somebody saying that they were going to come harm our school. That's terrifying. The next day, the press release came out. They were trying to track the phone number.
And they did.
And it was a prank call. That just makes me so mad. Someone had called in from, I don't even know where they said.
Somewhere in the United States.
Yep, just
not even in Minnesota.
It was not a local phone number. They had called in a prank call. And yeah, our school shut down for like 2 hours. We were stuck in a classroom, and it was terrifying. And it was a prank. And apparently the police said that like this number had done this multiple times. They had got complaints from around the country saying that this phone number called in. So yeah,
It was all
anyway. So yeah, I was reading this book.
Yeah,
And-
you just happened to be
Oh my
reading
gosh,
it at like
that
the
was so
perfect
crazy.
time.
I'm reading this book, and then no, that was the worst timing ever. So it was really hard to actually finish this book because I didn't really want to pick it up. I didn't want to like
Have something else come true.
yeah. So you never think it'll never happen to my school,
Yeah.
and then it does, and we knew what to do. The good thing about it was the police got the call at like 11:58, and we were in lockdown right at noon.
Yeah.
2 minutes after that phone call got taken to the police, I don't really know how it works, called our school, something like that, and our school is in lockdown. Everyone was inside a classroom 2 minutes after.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just the good thing that we can think we're safe.
Phones. I'm glad that we have phones.
Yes. That I could text my mom, and that was scary. What they were talking about in the book is when Lauren texted her parents and her friends that they loved them, she was like, I've never meant that more in my life, and like we can understand. I texted my mom and my dad and my friends. I'm like, well, I've never meant that I love you guys more than I just did in that text message. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first page in this book, I was just flipping it open. We're like, well, what do we talk about now that we put that kind of depressing note on everything? But I mean, that's the book we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not a book where like everyone lives happily ever after. But this is the first page in the Never Again book. When you open your eyes, but the nightmare doesn't go away, you got no choice but to do something. Our first job now is to remember. Our second job is to act. Remember, act, repeat. Since that day, none of us are the same, but we are alive. And in memory of those who are not, we will remember and act for the rest of our lives. We've always been taught as Americans there is no problem that is out of our reach, that if we set our minds to it, we can solve anything except for our problem with gun violence. That can't be fixed. When the problem flares, it's, hey, wow, that's terrible. Too bad there's nothing to be done about it, like it's an act of God or natural disaster. Something beyond our control that we are hopeless to do anything about, which defies all logic and reason. So, don't say that. Don't feel like that. Okay. So, normally in these things we talk about our least favorite character and our favorite characters. My hair is everywhere. My favorite character, is just all the kids.
David Hogg, Lauren Hogg, Emma Gonzalez, and
Carmen. I'm so blanking on his name and I feel so bad. I don't think they say it. I kind of forget. Anyway, just all those kids that took charge, and all the adults were like, this is an adult topic, let the adults handle it, but they weren't. So the kids were like, you know what? We're gonna handle it.
I also found a quote that I like. That I don't know who said this.
Just read it.
Okay. It was either David or Lauren. No one should have to be talking to friends one day and see their faces on TV the next. This is unacceptable. Things must change. I'm 14. No one should ever have to go through this. Please just do something. We do not need comfort. We need change.
That was Lauren. Lauren is
Yeah.
14, which is the age me and Aylin are, and that was crazy. She was 14, our age, and lost 3 of her best friends, and I couldn't imagine. Or was it 4 of them? Look at right there. She lost 4 of her
Gina,
best
Jamie,
friends.
Elena, and Alyssa.
And that's crazy because we have this friend group, and there's like 6, 7 of us, and we're close. And I cannot imagine losing
It's like
them.
it's
It's crazy.
just like us losing half of our friends.
And anyway, that's what Lauren said, and I really like that because she said like thoughts and prayers, those can only really get you so far. Like we need action.
We'll be praying for you and your family. We're talking.
So we don't really know how to end this on a happy note, except don't do prank calls.
Yeah.
Like prank
Or like prank calls, like big prank calls, like that.
You could prank call McDonald's and ask for Burger King's number. You could prank call your friend telling them that she's like won the lottery, or what do we say?
That she won Nikes.
Won Nike shoes because she was obsessed with these Nike shoes. Those are all okay, but do not prank call a school saying that you
Not in this time.
Not never.
Like, I mean, even more now.
Yeah, it's just
Because-
it's horrible because
Yeah.
we generally thought that like this was actually happening to our school when it wasn't, but it could have, and it was just don't do prank calls. Don't bully people. Don't
do bad stuff with a gun.
be kind to anybody because you don't know what they're going through. Just be kind and take charge, take action, and just
Be a part of changing the world into
For
a
the
better
better,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that is our book review on
That's our book vlog today.
On
Hashtag never,
Never
again.
Again. And
Follow our Instagram at Totally Book Dorks Vlogs.
and look us up on YouTube, which you probably already did because you're watching this video. That was probably not the smartest comment. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye. Cut me off.
No, I thought you were done with your sentence.
Okay, now I'm done with my sentence.